Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Yep.
Do you want to start off with a statement, and then we can open it up to some questions?
Good win against a quality team. I've got a lot of respect for Stanford and the institution itself. Jared Haas, their players do things the right way. They're a great member of this conference, and so that when you beat a team that you have great respect for, it feels good. But and they're a little wounded right now. That Bryce Wills is, I think, one of the most underrated players in this conference. He's been out for them. Dejon Davis, obviously, coming off an injury. Hopefully he's okay. But they're deep. They got good players. Zaire Williams is as good as advertised. Oscar Da Silva, boy, is he having a great year. I thought, Evan Batty battled him tonight and made him work for everything, but he's a good player. He's as good at rebounding his own miss as any player I think I've coached against in quite some time. So beat a quality opponent. I thought we played really well in the first half offensively. We were efficient. It was one of the halves we haven't gotten to the foul line. We did a better job of that in the second half, but I thought the second half we got a little sloppy offensively. We got a little lazy in terms of settling for threes and shooting quickly. We wanted the pace of the game up and down because I thought Stanford was tired in the first half. I thought they were exhausted in the second half. A lot of that had to do with the pace of play, so I don't mind that too much, but I do mind when we're running for threes rather than running for layups. You always have to run for layups first, and then if threes come in transition, they'll come, but that you want them to come as a result of paint touches, and a lot of them didn't. So got to get a little bit better, got to be a little smarter on the scouting report. But Stanford's a hard team to prep for just one game, and I thought, when I was looking at this schedule and you have Cal first, you have a little bit more time to prepare for that one, and only one day for Stanford is really tough because they run a lot of good stuff both offensively and defensively.
And we'll start with Pat Rooney.
Ted, you've talked about the depth and versatility of this team before, but 9 different players, I believe, scored before halftime today. How good is this team when you're getting those kind of contributions across the board?
Fantastic, Pat. We got a lot of capable players on that bench and some of them aren't even playing that are really capable players. So, I think when you get contributions, I think our depth earlier in the season was a little bit untested. I think now you see Jabari Walker feeling much more comfortable out there when he gets in the game. Tristan Da Silva's feeling much more comfortable when he gets in the game. Maddox Daniels gives us great, depth on the perimeter and a guy that can come in and shoot. I thought he played really hard tonight. So, we've got, Dominique Clifford and Luke O'Brien are very capable players. So I think, our depth is good. Keyshawn, it's good to have him back because he's going to help stretch the defense, and he's another ball handler and shooter out there that can help us win some games. So I love this team. I love our versatility. I love our depth. We can play big and small. Stanford puts some lineups out there that are really crazy in terms of their size and skill, and we're able to counter that with our length and ability to guard and be effective in our offensively as well.
Justin Guerrero.
Ted, right on that same note, I know last year's team, you frequently use the phrase quality depth to kind of describe the guys you had at your disposal. Comparing the depth last year to this year, I know you can go on and talk about the youth this year as opposed to last, but when you look at all the contributions you're getting, as Pat alluded to, and especially with guys like Maddox and Eli really refining their ability to score on the wing, Jariah has been a great addition, and then what Keyshawn and Jabari are doing. Do you think that quality depth has really just kind of taken on a new meaning and a new level this season than last?
I do, Justin. I think it really has. And, I think of a guy like Eli Parquet, who last year, started at times but came off the bench for the majority of the year. And Eli now is a solid contributor in the starting lineup and gives us really good minutes. He's really made great strides as a defender and making open shots and being efficient offensively. So, I look at him. I look at Maddox Daniels. Last year he was a JUCO guy, still kind of figuring out the Division I level and Pac-12, and now he's much more comfortable. Jariah Horn comes in as a grad transfer who gives us great and then our freshmen are growing up before our eyes. So, and Keyshawn being in the program last year, practicing with us and getting to know the system, feeling more comfortable. So, I think our depth this year is even a little bit better than it was last year, and we just need that consistency. You got to know what you're going to get from guys every night. That's the thing that's nice as a coach, is if you know what you're going to get from your guys, it helps you prepare. When you don't know what you're going to get and it's there one night and not there the next, that's when it becomes a little bit more difficult. We went through that a little bit last year, but I like this team.
Jake Shapiro.
Todd, looking at the way you guys have shot free throws this year and closed out and started halves, do you think that speaks to the concentration, focus, and as well as the, I guess the attitude of this team, the positivity and confidence that you guys have?
I think so, Jake. Yeah, I mean, look, free throws, shooting is an individual thing. I want our players each to take pride in that, kind of like their rebounding, numbers and how many rebounds they're getting per 40 minutes, because that's what we really look at. There's certain guys that may only play 5 or 6 minutes, and so they're not going to get as many rebounds as a guy that plays 35 or 36 minutes. So but we look at efficiency per 40 minutes, whether it's rebounding, whether it's scoring, whether it's assisting the ball. And, we've got some guys that can make plays. And I think, again, if you're in the starting lineup, it's incumbent upon you to make sure our team gets off to a good start in the first half and the second half. If you're coming off the bench, it's incumbent upon you to make sure that we are not stepping back or letting that 12-point lead become a 6-point lead, or that, a 4-point deficit become a 12-point deficit. That's your job. That's where the plus minuses come in. How does our team operate when you're on the floor? I want our players to take pride in that, and I think they do.
Jacob Toby.
Coach, we just got done talking with Jariah and Evan, and it's just so evident that and they talked about it, no one cares who does well. It's just it's all about the team, and just how happy are you to see that? And then also, you have a mix of veteran and young guys, and the veteran guys are setting that culture for your young guys going forward. How amazing is that for you to see, to set that culture for the future? Because you talk about how you're going to have a totally different team next year. Yeah,
it's fantastic, and it's part of your culture, and your culture is based on the players you have in it. We have the thought for the day from the first day of practice. Every year I've been here or I've been a head coach. It's amazing what can be accomplished when you don't care and when nobody cares who gets the credit. And that's what this team is. It really embodies that. So that you send that message to every team, but every team doesn't accept it. Every team doesn't take it to heart and go out there and exhibit it. This team has. And as long as we can continue to do that, we're going to have a lot of success, because our guys truly don't care who gets the shot. And that's why, we move the ball well, we share the ball, we make the extra pass, and we got a great group of character guys that, are fun to coach. And I think they really, truly love playing with each other and care about each other. And that's special, because that doesn't happen all the time. People talk about it, but it doesn't always happen.
And Hart Pisani.
Hey, Coach, so I know you talked about this a little bit already, but just in terms of balance, I mean, Stanford had 64 points, but 52 of them came from 3 guys, whereas y'all had 4 players in double figures. You had like 5 others score. Just the overall better balance offensively coming from y'all's team.
Helps a lot, because you can't key on one guy. And, obviously we all know how important McKinley is to us, but he's playing at a really, really high level right now in terms of distributing the ball. He had another 8 assists tonight, and 2 turnovers. I mean, again, 4-1. I mean, something we've been talking to him about a long time, and he's having a great senior year. But again, we're getting contributions from everybody, and it's different guys each night, and that's what makes this team, again, so hard to prepare for. And I think, because we have a lot of weapons, and I want our guys playing with confidence and take the shots when they're there, make the right play. The game tells you what to do. That's another thing I think this team is taking to heart. Like, the game tells you when to pass the ball, when to shoot the ball. You just got to understand the game. If you don't understand the game, it's hard to make those decisions. But for the most part, not every time, but for the most part, our guys do that.
Back to Pat.
Ted, you've built a little momentum now since you got back from the LA trip. You're going back out on the road. How do you pack up this momentum? And I assume maybe we'll see Dallas Walton since we saw him dressed in warm-ups today.
Yeah, we hope and plan to have Dallas back for the Washington game. Obviously, he played very well against him, when we played him in Vegas in the non-conference game. But, yeah, look, we've played Washington before. They know us. We know them. They've been struggling right now, but I'm telling you, they have quality players. They've got a quality coach, and Washington will be ready for us. It's always hard to beat that team that you've beaten the second time because they have if there's an emotional edge, Washington probably has it. So we've got to make sure that we match that edge and that we're ready to play. We know we're going to have to play against the zone. We haven't played against the zone probably since Washington very much. And so that'll be part of our preparation. And then we've got a really good Washington State team, after that. So, but first things first, we got the Huskies, and we got to be ready to play. And it's not going to be easy. But the way you separate yourself in any league, in any part of the country, at any level, is you have to win on the road if you want to give yourself a chance to be in the conversation for a championship. And we're a long ways away from that right now because nobody's beating UCLA. But we just got to keep doing what we're doing and taking care of our opportunities as they come.
And Neil Welk.
Hey, Tad, if you could just give me a quick word about your defense. You held them scoreless 4-minute stretch in the first half, 5-minute stretch in the second half, and that's kind of when you put it away.
Yeah, Neil, we talk about kills all the time. I know we had 4 in the first half. And that's 3 stops in a row. I don't know how many we had in the second half, but I told our players at halftime, if we get another 4 kills in the second half, we will win this game. They can't beat us. And I do like the way our players, in a very short prep time, Coach Greer did a really good job of preparing for Stanford, but Stanford is so different than Cal. Offensively, they're different. Defensively, they're different. Different personnel, obviously. We made some adjustments in terms of how we tried to guard them. And I thought our guys did a really good job of taking that game plan and executing it. We weren't perfect, but defensively, we got stops when we had to. And, again, that's the only way you can separate yourself. We did it in the first half towards the end there. We did it in parts of the second half. And a great defensive effort for our guys in a short prep against a really good team.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.